Hey guys, it's the XC60 project here today, and this is weekly update number 5. And this update is going to have a lot of information in it, some new cool information, some sad information, and some things to look forward to. So to start off with, first of all, I'd like to thank Mark 5 Automotive for being so great through this and just being such an amazing shop to work with and be a customer of, and just how knowledgeable they are and how helpful they are, and how nice they are. They're just great. I'd also like to thank KT4 Performance for sponsoring the XC60 project build. So that's to start off. And so some big news, first of all, is that I now have merch that we'll be releasing, and we'll have merch for Lexi, and we'll have merch for Tallahassee, and then we'll have just regular black hoodie type stuff. So that's new. My engine mount, people have been buying my engine mount, so that's actually really cool. I didn't expect it to sell that much, but people have actually been buying that new engine mount I made to put in their Volvos, so that's really exciting in the Volvo world. But what happened to Lexi, the XC60 project car? Or just Lexi? What happened to Lexi? Well, Lexi is currently in the back of Mark 5 Automotive, sitting with no turbocharger on it and no downpipe exhaust on it. Because when I took it in last week on Friday for them to do the manifold, they found something that isn't the bestest of news, but it will turn into something really, really good. So I'm going to walk you through how this week has been. So Friday, I dropped Lexi off at Mark 5 Automotive to install the KT4 Performance manifold, the Elevate dual port blow off valve, the heat wrap as much as the exhaust as possible, and redo two turbo vacuum lines. And then Saturday, I get a message from them, and they're like, "Can you come in? There's something we want to show you." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And then I asked if it's good or bad, and they said, no, it's nothing. We know you like doing and seeing this type of stuff, so we want to show you. So then I came in, and so to do the manifold, they had to remove the drive shaft, and so that I knew had happened. They also had to cut my exhaust because it was one solid unit throughout the entire thing. But the people who installed my downpipe, the dealer who installed my catless downpipe, completely rounded off the turbo bolts, and I saw them. They were like a perfect shiny circle, and one of them was finger tight, so that's awesome. But so to get the bolt extractor on them, they had to remove my front differential and my two axles. So that was not the best start to that project or that job. So then they got there, and so they showed me all that, we talked about it, and then I left, and then Monday morning I get a message from them saying, "Can you come in? There's something we want to show you, or there's something I need you to see on your XC60." So right away I figured it wasn't good news. I didn't bother asking them. I thought I'd ask them when I get there. And then I got there and I asked them, and they went, "It's bad." What ended up happening is my turbocharger on the exhaust manifold part actually cracked in half, and there was a chunk of it that looked really close to falling out, and it's so great. It's really, really great news that it didn't fall out or driving or while at full boost and send shrapnel all over my engine. So yeah, that happened, and then so there's no point in putting it back together, especially when making more power, because there's a chance that it's going to crack while driving or under full boost and completely destroy everything. So the car isn't even, like, you can start it, it won't have any, it will just be a manifold, it will be really loud. So did I go stock? Do I do stock turbo? Do I go hybrid turbo? Do I go big turbo? My plans for the car were to go big turbo at some point. So after a couple days of deciding, I decided to go big turbo. So we're going big turbo on Lexi. Lexi's going to be getting a big turbo. So what ended up happening was they put it all back together, and they rolled it out, and it's sitting there, and we're waiting for a big turbo. What is happening with Lexi is I have ordered a 7163 Borg Warner turbocharger EFR turbocharger, and it's going to be V-band at both ends. So what does this mean? So this means, first of all, the car, I'm going to be driving Tallahassee for over a month, and it's been a week now. Turbocharger is supposed to come in next week, but obviously you can't just bolt the turbocharger on and call it a day. So what's happening? So far that we know of, we're going to have to change or completely remake the downpipe. You're going to have, because it has to be V-banded. So they're going to change the end of it to be V-band so it can go on the turbocharger. And then they might have to remake it or change angles of it so that it fits properly. My exhaust manifold, the KT4 brand new exhaust manifold, they're going to chop or chunk off, V-band that so that it can go onto the turbocharger. The snab intake, the one that goes vertically down, that should be fine. It's going to go on the turbocharger fine. That should all be good. That should be good. And then the intake outlet, the one that goes through all the boost pipes to the intercooler, that we might have to make a new charge pipe, and we might also have to play around with silicone adapters in that pipe, because the Volvo turbocharger doesn't come out at a straight or a 90, it comes at not even a 45, it just comes out at like a weird angle, and then those hoses made around that to fit the angle. But obviously the bigger turbocharger won't have that, so we will have to make some new pipes, probably a couple or one, and we're going to be doing silicone adapters. New fittings, we'll have to get some new fittings done for that. Retune, like 100% a retune. And to do the tune, we're going on a dyno. So there's going to be a dyno day for Lexi, probably within the next month or a little bit over the next month. And then, so there's that. Then we're also going to be putting in bigger injectors, because we don't think these stock injectors on the T6 can keep up with the bigger turbo. So I'm going to be getting 850cc injectors to do with it. The estimated, without like having obviously have done anything, the estimated horsepower for the estimated wheel horsepower is 360 to 390 horsepower at 13 to 16 psi. That's the estimate, and that's really, really good. So that is what has happened to Lexi. Currently, we're waiting on a bunch of parts, and then there's going to have to be a bunch of custom fabbing to do, new injectors, and then dyno day. So that's exciting. Before we do dyno day, I'm going to drain the front, rear diff, and Haldex system, put new fluid in it, because a dyno is really hard on everything. So we're going to do that. But yeah, that's what's happening to Lexi. Lexi probably won't be around for the next month. I won't have driven her for over a month, and that is the saddest part. I love that car, and that, to me, that just makes me so sad that I can't drive it for a month, but it will all be worth it after. And then, so that is what is happening with Lexi. And then we have a Sparko seat coming, a carbon fiber hood coming, new end links from Viva Performance Stimmy sale for that car. And then we have Tallahassee. Tallahassee has been very interesting. She drives like this down the road, not straight, so we're going to change that. There's a camber arm in the rear that we're going to do. There's transmission flush we got to do. And then we have ball joints and the transmission mount coming. But that is the update. This is this weekly's update. I think this is going to be a pretty long update, so I apologize that it was long. But anyways, thanks for watching this. Subscribe and stay tuned for all the other weekly updates that will be coming up. But thank you for watching. Like, comment what you want to see, what we want to do some videos of. There will definitely be a video for Dyno Day. This one will be sick. But anyways, thank you. This is the XC60 project.